Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to QAT channel. In this series of videos, Alhamdulillah, we are learning about simple Arabic verbs. Today, our topic is command verbs. Let's begin. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In this session, largely we are going to learn about the conjugations of command verbs. Now let's look into some of the basic information about command verbs. Command verbs are present tense verbs in the state of Jazm. They have the particle of Jazm, Lam kasra li, at the beginning, which is called Lam of command or Lamul Amr, except second person active present tense command verbs do not have Lam of command at the beginning. Instead, they have the letter Hamzah at the beginning. And when we are going to look into the chart, it will be very clear to you. Now let's look into the ending conditions of the verbs when the Lam of Kasra comes at the beginning. So if originally the verb is yaf'alu, for example, then when Lam kasra li, the Lam of Amr, comes at the beginning, then the Dhamma changes to Jazm. So yaf'alu becomes liyaf'al. Okay. And if there is a verb that has noon at the end, for example, yaf'alani, then the noon will drop when Lam kasra comes. So yaf'alani becomes liyaf'ala. So basically the default states, for example, yaf'alu becomes liyaf'al. This is Jazm state. It becomes at the state of Jazm. And yaf'alani becomes liyaf'ala. Now let's look into all the conjugations. So we have a chart over here. This particular chart is for third person male. And as we saw in other sessions, we have active command, active tense, passive tense. So we have active command and we have passive command. Let's go over them, inshallah. First one, where the doer is a third person singular male, means he. So the command verb is liyaf'al. So the Dhamma changed to Jazm. When the doers are third person dual male, the command verb is liyaf'ala. When the doers are third person plural male, the command verb is liyaf'alu. So these are the active command verbs. And you can see the noon dropped. It was ani, so now only alif. And it was una, the noon dropped. For the passive, it's very obvious. Let me go over the meaning very quickly. So liyaf'al, the meaning is he or it must or should do. So for the command verb, sometimes the meaning can be in terms of must or should. For the dual again, they must or should do. And for the plural also, they must or they should do. For the passive, it will be in the passive meaning. So he or it must be done. I'm not going to read all the passive conjugations. You can pause the video and you can take a look at the conjugations. This is basically active and passive. So passive, we know the prefix gets a dhamma and the second root letter gets a fatha. Let's look into third person female group. So third person female group, for the singular female, when the doer is a third person singular female, like she, litaf'al, she must or should do. For the dual, when the doers are third person dual females, litaf'ala, they must or should do. And when the doers are third person, plural female, ليفعلن. So over here you can see the noon did not drop because this is a mabni conjugation. This is stateless. So when the conjugation is stateless, doesn't matter what particle comes at the beginning, there won't be any change at the ending condition. Okay, so this is liyaf'alna, doers are third person, plural female, they must do. And for the passive, you can really tell that they are just changed by the passive conjugation. Passive meaning and also the conjugation by the prefix with the dhamma and the second root letter has fatha. Okay. Now let's look into second person. Second person male group. For the second person, as it was mentioned at the beginning of the session, for the second person conjugation, there won't be any lam kasra li. Also, there won't be any prefix. You can see there is no lam kasra li and there is no prefix. So instead, there is only Hamzah. This Hamzah is called Hamzatul Wasl. In a later session, we are going to learn more about Hamzatul Wasl and what should be the vowel. At this point, this particular Hamzatul Wasl will have a kasra for the root letters fa, ain, lam. So the first one, if'al, you must do. This is second person singular male. If'ala, doers are second person dual male. You must or should do. Then when the doers are second person plural male, if'alu, you must or should do. Now look into the passive. When it comes for passive, there won't be Hamza. Passive will be the way we saw before. There will be lam kasra and there will be prefixes. So for example, li tuf'al, you must be done. Doer is a second person singular male. It's not doer, I'm sorry, object on which the work is done, and so on. Now let's look into second person female group. Second person female group, again, because it's second person, there won't be any prefix, there won't be any lam kasra for the active commands. Okay, so when the doer is a second person singular female, the verb is if'ali, you must do or should do. When the doers are second person dual female, the verb is if'ala. And when the doers are second person plural female, the verb is command verb, active command verb is if'alna. Again, this is a mabni conjugation, so the noun stays there. And for the passive, there will be lam kasra and there will be prefixes. Now let's look into the first person conjugations. For the first person, like the third person, the lam kasra li and the prefixes will exist. So for the first person singular, it is li af'al. For the plural, li naf'al. For the passive, li uf'al. For the plural, li nuf'al. Alhamdulillah, in this session, we learned about conjugations that carry lam kasra li as a jazm particle. And we also learned about direct command verbs that for the second person command, second person active command. Inshallah, in the next session, we are going to look into verbs that have the lam of command at the beginning of the conjugation. So until then, please keep us in your dua. May Allah grant barakah on all your efforts. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.